Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Someone told me that stories are a great way to convey your message. I'm not very good at it, but I'm going to try today. A man who's experiencing severe pain all over his body goes to a doctor. And he says to the doctor that wherever I touch, it is paining. I touch my ears pain. If I touch my eyes, the eyes pain. If I touch my stomach, that pains, my leg pains. Wherever I touch, whatever I touch, it's just paining everywhere. So he goes from one specialist to another, and each of these specialists administer a certain medicine, and the person feels fine for some time, but the pain returns. It resurfaces after a few days. Then he meets a very wise doctor who looks at him very carefully, examines him, and then tells him that the problem is not with any of his organs. They're all functioning very well, but it is with his finger. He has a fractured finger. So the point I'm trying to drive is many spiritual modalities, they can give you indirect relief from symptoms, but they do not address the core. They may not address the core issue. Once a person went to J. Krishnamurti and asked him about the opinion that he had about a yogi. That yogi was known to suspend his breath for a long period of time. Krishnamurti looked at the person, smiled, and he said, "Deep breath, but shallow mind." So you see, many times the modality or spiritual practice we follow may not even address the very problem from where the problem is coming. It may not be able to diagnose what the problem really is. The problem everybody knows is always the ego, ahankar. And yet, we find indirect ways to go around it. Advaita, Atma Vichara, self-enquiry, as laid down by Sri Ramana Maharshi and Sagata Maharaj, is the direct way to realizing our non-dual awareness. Because ultimately, everything leads to the non-dual awareness. Just like all the rivers, they flow back into the ocean. Similarly, all paths, no matter what they are, indirect, in whatever way they are, they will flow back to the Advaita. But Atma Vichara or self-enquiry is the direct path. Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi asks us that we should attend to this I, the thinker, the one who thinks. Who is this thinker? This thinker who thinks about a thought and then gets engaged with the thought and then gets attached to the thought, and due to this attachment and expectation from the thought, he goes into bondage. So instead of looking around everywhere else, he advises all of us to come and attend to the sense of I, from where this illusion first arises, from where this delusion first arises. This I that is trying to complete itself, trying to find gratification and fulfillment in objects. Raman Maharishi and Maharaj tells us, hold to this sense of I. And soon you will see that the I dissolves, making us realize our true nature of Satchit Ananda. Having said that, I must also admit that being in the path of Kriya Yoga for so many years and also into self-inquiry of Atma Vichara, still I would say that there is a challenge in the traditional self-inquiry approach. And the challenge is that Atma Vichara is only for those people who are very matured in their practices. Their minds are very ripe. They're ready for it. That's why they're ready to renounce, be detached from the world. But what about those people who have ambitions, goals? They want to enjoy life. They want to be around. For them, is Atma Vichar not possible? So I pray to Raman Maharshi himself, Bhagwan, and to show us, to guide us, what can be possibly be done so that people who are in the world also, who want something from the world, who want to enjoy the world also, can still derive the benefits of self-inquiry, Atma Vichar. And through his grace, through his love, Advaita 222 came. I was able to bring understanding about the path of Advaita 222. In this path, we are not expected to latch on to the sense of I if it is not natural to do it. Meaning that if I feel inclined or an urge to go and seek something or desire something, I allow myself to do it. We are allowed to do it. You're allowed to do it. But keeping in mind that we have to bring our awareness to such a seeking. And that we do by asking two questions at regular intervals, at least 6 to 8 times in a day. Am I seeking comfort or pleasure? Am I seeking tension or conflict with those around me? And we are expected to answer that with full honesty and sincerity. So every time a thought goes, the thinker in me arises and it goes to a thought. And I don't feel that I need to go and retire or try to, do this push pull. I need to withdraw from the world. Instead, I feel like I must go and explore it. I must engage with my thought. Then I am entitled to do so. But with this awareness, by asking this question, am I seeking pleasure, comfort, or am I seeking tension or conflict? And as I do this slowly, we will understand that the withdrawing is not necessary from the world at all. Because what Advaita, the path of Advaita 222 is doing is that it is questioning the very motivation of the ego. The motivation of the ego is forming completion. The moment we put our awareness there into this sense of incompletion that we are deriving, the sense of completion that we are going to derive from an object, the urge just simply disappears. The seeking will remain, the desire may remain, but the urge may not remain. The emotional investment around it may not remain. You'll be like a lotus in a pond, but will not wet yourself. So this is the path that I'm bringing into the world of which you can complement. It's like an extension of the self-inquiry Atma Vichar. The Advaita 222 is that. And I hope to explore more with you when in days to come about it. So I hope this is helpful and I'll see you in the next satsang. Thank you.